Alright gamers, this is a video I had to basically remake because the old one I had got deleted because I was cleaning out my old computer, and I figured I'd just go ahead and redo this video anyway because I do want to talk about some stuff in here and a lot of stuff and points I want to make anyway. So yeah, it's gonna be a long, probably 30 chunky minute video though, but yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff in here, so let's go ahead and talk about it though. Of course, it's Sonic Frontiers 4chan leak that was leaked out, you know, almost a year ago. That's 0.9, 8 months now. They could just Sumo boy. So I want to say Soldier Boy so bad. I don't know why I want to say it so bad. So stupid. I don't know. That's just me though. But yeah, though. I didn't want to make this video because originally though I was like, I definitely need to remake this at some point because, I definitely need to because I would do some new points. Of course, you know, Frontier 2. You know, right now it kind of got rumored like it's gonna be a thing. It's gonna be pretty much improvement over the first game. We got, you know, new stuff that was, you know, revealed like, you know, now that wasn't like 9 months ago. Now a lot of new shorts, a lot of new just, you know, stuff in general. It's just really good that I can kind of work off that and see my 4,000 opinions. I've got some stuff I want to say because in the original video I had a lot of good talking points. I had everything planned out, but I do want to probably make some new adjustments and new stuff here since, you know, because back then, you know, I didn't have my little laptop. Now I have it though, so now it's making, you know, recordings are more easier, more fluent, the voice is more out there for me now. So a lot of stuff, I improved a lot of stuff though. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it though. So yeah, I just want to jump right in though, of course, because again, it just is stuff I wanted to make a video on. I never had the time to. So yeah, finally got right here. So of course, it's good right in it. Yeah, July. Yes, okay, I remember this. So this is definitely what's back then. But yeah, I was going to get right in there. Again, all this stuff is pretty much almost like the first Frontiers 4chan leak. A lot of stuff on there was true. A lot of stuff that was pretty much part of the beta that got announced was in there. A lot of the beta stuff, like all the islands being one before they got separated. The Ghost Girl being Sage. Amy being kind of like a phantom kind of figure. All that stuff was pretty much true. Just, interpreted, so we don't know everything. So, pretty much the same thing here, though. So, yeah. Again, first time around, I didn't even get to that 4chan leak as a video. But now I'm kind of glad I got to this one. Because this is probably one of my favorite videos to do. Because I love stuff like this. So right here, it says I have an insider who has had a lot of info on Sega's IP on the current development status has been available. Yeah, I have also, my brain is freaking out right now. I've been able to see footage of several, pretty much in development, Sega projects, Jet Set Radio, which I think was announced, this thing is getting a reboot soon, which was right. P6, Persona 6, it seems like it, and a new Chow game, which we don't have too much info on it, I think, right now, but I mean, Chow being a thing, I think it's Sonic Chow Generation being a collectible. Also, I want to say, the Chow Adventures Chow Tales series. Like, they're really kind of building up to the Chow game, probably like a pet simulator, like I said, it was. I mean, they can be, technically, it's its own. All I gotta do is just take that from SA2, pretty it up, probably from the Frontiers engine, which it seems like that's what they're doing, though, and pretty much the new Frontiers game, if they're gonna do it, though, if it's gonna be the next mainline game, it's pretty much gonna be a pro upon from the last game. Again, last game looked beautiful. All I gotta do is just do that, add a couple, you don't need to add anything, just, maybe, combat's probably gonna be technically different. Updates, changes, etc., etc. Probably a big, expansive, skill tree, etc., etc. I don't need to get into that because that could literally be its own video. And I'll talk about that in here anyway, though, because I'm gonna give all my thoughts and points out, though. So I'm kind of just pushing it out there. Plus, you never know who's watching this, though. You never know who's getting these ideas. So, yeah. But we're all Sonic fans. We all got different interpretations. Yeah, I'll share currently what I will share that what I currently know about the new open world Sonic game, since I'm also a fan. Right here it says working title Sonic Frontier 2, pretty much like how the first game was. It's called Sonic Rangers in development. Later we'll probably get like an announcement name for it, though. It was official, called Sonic Rangers when it got leaked out and conceptualized, and Frontier's first game out, that was the thing. Game is developed, of course, by Mishimoto. My brain farted for like a second. Kishimoto, pretty much the same guy who made Frontier's first one. So yeah, Mario Kishimoto. Voluntarily, the whole entire team returning for Frontiers. Okay, that makes sense. And some new staff from the previous Boost games returning as game designers. Okay, that's cool. I get some more. And that's kind of typical, pretty much, with this game. Got a lot of people from different Sonic eras, like the Boost game. Because you could definitely tell because all this stuff. Cyber Base was a big example of that. Literally taking the pieces from those stages, even from the past Sonic games, and making them to new. So yeah, it does kind of make sense, honestly, right now. So yeah. But yeah, there you go. Pretty much. Again, that's pretty much basic and simple right there. Kishimoto's team eventually is doubled in size, which I was just about to say that too. The team, it was confirmed pretty much that, we're getting 300 more people for the next game. And the Frontiers, even the DLC, gave a lot of people a reason to buy it, boosted the game significantly. It was crazy how much Frontiers really impacted the franchise. Pretty much how, and again, it was confirmed that they're going to make multiple games going forward. Sonic Shadow Generation did really good. Team Sonic Racing, the new Sonic Cross Worlds, is being a big thing right now. Like both these teams, we have a bigger team so we can get more like little kind of side games. Again, the racing game look like it's doing good right now at time of recording. And right now, of course, Generation's really good. Frontier did really well. So we had, so far we're doing really good with 3 good Sonic games again. So we're kind of working back into like Sonic being, Sonic was always good no matter what, but we're kind of working back into Sonic, kind of getting his feet back together after Forces. The Forces didn't really do well story-wise in the franchise. It's a kind of a sore thumb in a way, being like, yeah, we kind of messed up. Well, Forza was made in general was made for a newer audience of Sonic for people to get back into Sonic though. Not even just Sonic in general, just to get back into the franchise in general though. So that kind of makes sense why the way it was, because again, it was made for new people though. So yeah. So yeah, pretty much that. Yeah, success in Japan. Sega is trying to maintain AAA output with the open world format, and Sonic's future team releases, so polished and quality at the forefront. Game begins, conceptualization shortly after Frontiers release. Of course, makes sense because Forces, right after Forces, they got working to Frontiers, so that makes sense. Release and began full scale development October 2023. Okay, that's really good. So people already completed the beta already. Compared with the last year, and everything. In general, it was a thing. I lost my point. I thought after the first DLC was released, only so pretty much after the DLC pretty much got worked on, which makes sense though because the DLC was a big project that they were working on and it got announced and everything. So yeah, you're currently on current next gen consoles, PC, Switch 2, new Switch Legacy. Yeah, we already know that. Yeah, Switch 2 was already a thing. So even then, like months ago, like even though months ago we had this, Switch 2 was the thing anyway. So yeah, so basically we're returning in a way. But we'll be following a similar design. Pretty much. So it's gonna be pretty much coming back though, but doing its own little thing. So, metamorphosis to TV. Yeah, okay. TV. Pretty much. Yeah, cyberspace is pretty much coming back. My brain's running Clifton, right? Cyberspace will be returning in some way. It'll be pretty much following the same format and everything. But Metamorphosis, so pretty much it's going to be doing the same thing, taking bits from Generations, Forces, because there's a lot that you can work with that though. But I don't know, kind of do it because I remember having this point in the first video too. In general, I'd probably say go ahead and just do like Chunon, but like in the Green Hill, like if they could do it like Chunon, as first level of Green Hill, Sky Sanctuary, do a Force level from that, what they pretty much did. I'd probably say just, get different games in here. I don't know, get like SA2, get like the graphic, get the graphics from that kind of. But they probably can't work with that though. But yeah, just do that. I just got to throw some stuff out there. So you guys kind of get what I'm getting at. Only one giant island. So dang, that's crazy. So it's going to be, all this stuff is going to take place on one island, which originally, you got something like I said, Kronos, Rhea, and Uranus originally one island though. So it's crazy we're getting one big island for this adventure. Which I do like that idea, though. That'd be really, really cool, honestly. So, that's kind of really awesome, though. Like, it's kind of crazy. Like, how that's gonna be freaking nuts. Like, one big island for Sonic to explore. Like, is it gonna take place in multiple chapters and parts? Because I think Tails originally was on Kronos Island as well, but got swapped out for Amy. You can definitely tell that in the trailers too. You can definitely tell in the trailer because Amy was promoted a lot in that. Footage from the open world suggests that. They're attempting the less realistic art style, which it did well though, honestly. The environment the player will explore was a lot like Angel Island, and where it has subterranean areas. Okay, so it's kind of cool. So pretty much like how Angel Island was, we can see it as an island, but it has like Casino Night, Ice Cap, like we've seen it even like conceptual designs and everything. It was, Angel Island's one big island, so it's pretty much, I guess, can be broken down like that, like levels of X and everything. Everything's gonna like change. The environment's maybe like the winter setting, like a desert setting, typical stuff like that. So yeah, that would be kind of cool to see though, honestly. Like give us like different like areas and everything. Like it look like a casino from far away, but turns into like ice cap or something like that. Yeah, environments are not finished at all. So yeah, pretty much still in development. Shit on placeholders. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, I can see that. I wrote that really wrong. Yeah, a lot of placeholders and asset reuse. Since it's early, makes sense. Of course, again, you got probably had like a clay model. They probably had like the graphics right now, probably from the first game being a hit holdover for now. So yeah, they're NPCs and well, it looks like villages from what I see. Pretty much like how Frontiers had it. Like I think originally, I know actually now originally Aris Island was supposed to have like cities. I think there was supposed to be a Titan Factory on Chaos Island originally. It was just like again, there was just like a concept. They didn't even make it to the full game at all. But also one thing too as well. I know Kronos Island also had whatchamacallit. Again, they had Rhea, Kronos, and Uranus all had villages though, so we were like, what's kind of going to be there? I mean, you see the Coco scatter around too, like, but they're kind of just like invisible in the way, kind of collecting everything. So, yeah, again, just a lot of little stuff like that though. So yeah, let's go actually like NPCs, like maybe like some. I don't know, what would that be like? More ancients? That would be kind of weird. Really, really weird. I'm just kind of throwing that out there. From what I saw, the areas were filled with enemies, which could attack some villages. Okay, I think I protect them. A very inhabited area has some level platform. I guess like how Sonic Block 9 had it too, where you can just like save villagers, and then they reward you with stuff. Maybe they'll run away. You had to attack the enemies and everything. So that'd be kind of cool. Kind of looks very unchanged from Frontiers. Again, they really should expand the tree more. I don't know. It was like 2 or 3 different trees, but you can equip like this one with Sonic's movements. Like the first one would be like from the first game. The second one would be like from the game. We get like a third one. I don't know. It's kind of like change up the skill tree a little bit. I don't know. Like equip different ones, like 4 or 5. Well, probably like 3. Honestly, I'd probably say 3 skill trees. You can equip and change like to the style. It won't be like a fast-paced one. One will be like a balance of both. One will be like a slow-paced one for like beginner characters. Kind of just throwing it out there because we have different difficulties. Give us different difficulties, kind of for like different difficulties, but like for like combat, easy, normal, hard. Oh, that's kind of out there. But yeah, I mean, combat in Frontiers, it could be improved a lot though. So yeah, there is a boost like Frontiers, of course, makes sense, but it's not the main way to go fast. Okay, cool. We're getting some different, stuff. It's only really useful at slower speeds to launch from forwards. Launching forwards. Conserving movement as key. Okay, that's kind of a its own little thing though. So yeah, I mean, it's we kind of can expect that. Momentum based, probably more momentum based, government like a pole, like a pulley or something like that. You get speed, get launched from this area to that area. It's not gonna be many of the boost stuff because in the game you had like boost pads, rails, maybe something, something probably a little similar, a little different though. So yeah, I mean that's kind of real basic there too. A game has been in full development for less than a year. Okay, that's kind of cool. Sounds recording probably almost 2 years now, so not a lot is finished. Of course, makes sense. Early game, and what is preserved, pretty much was privated, is just junk. But not in the same way. Yeah, it's just junk, but not the same way as Frontiers. Very early footage though, so we pretty much have concept like we have like kind of proof here. We have footage for it, but probably like how the game when the game released, we got like beta footage island for like Kronos, which originally I was gonna do a video for, but I was like, I remember the mom kind of did a video for it though, so I kind of didn't feel that special, breaking down like all the stuff from like the beta and everything. But like there's only like a couple like minutes of footage though, like Sonic fighting Giganto, him being island size, him being a Supreme's area. Beetle being the concept, Beetle and being a concept for a fight, or just Beetle being a fight. What else? Sonic fighting some enemies, Islands being one. But like I said, everyone in the mom did a video for it though, so that's kind of basic and boring though. So I'm like, yeah, everybody did a video for it. Not gonna be bothered. But I do a lot of other Sonic content, like videos and shorts that people don't even do at all. So I mean, maybe people might though, but you never know. So yeah, game has been in full development. Yeah, I read that already. Expect the late 2026 release, especially 2027. Trailer mid 2025. So pretty much now we haven't got anything yet though. So I'll probably say we probably won't get a trailer or a teaser, which we already got like I said stuff saying like it's in development right now. Rumors, again, all rumors. We don't even know anything about it at all though. So yeah, again, right now it's just rumors. Which again, like I said, we got 2 bits of news for it, probably 3 or 4 at this point. saying like, oh yeah, Frontier 2 is rumored, it's probably gonna be a thing, but improving upon what the first game did. Pretty much all they're saying, improvements from the first game. It's probably gonna be a thing or not though. So yeah, we pretty much, we are kind of getting like slight rumors and teasers for that though. So it's kind of already a thing. So pretty much everything that we got so far in this one seemed pretty good though. Again, basic stuff, early stuff hasn't been announced yet. Stuff that has, it's very early. We don't have like too much info in here though, so we can kind of see like where it's being based off, like what's kind of going to be here and everything. So it's basic early stuff though. Again, not too much info in here, not too much in here, but like early stuff though, not too much info, not too much busy work in here. But for what we have here, it's already good. Like from what I'm seeing here, it's already good. The next page is gonna be longer. But this so far, pretty good. I'm glad we got some new stuff in here. So yeah. But again, like I said though, right here, Switch 2 is already a thing. Teasers and stuff. We kind of already got that with the rumors, leak whatever, it's gonna be here soon, etc., etc. But we don't know too much though. But yeah, all here, all good. So far, so good. Again, it's basic new stuff. It's basic stuff you already can kind of see, like island stuff being teased. The working title, which we're still calling it Frontier 2 now, so that's already a thing. Hijimoto coming back, the team being expanded up to 300 people. Stuff new stuff, old stuff we already kind of got. New stuff, old stuff, etc., etc. I like what I'm seeing so far, so let's go ahead and move on to the next one right here. But yeah, of course we got a bigger one right here. So, we actually going to zoom in a little bit more. Be easier for you guys. Let me back it up a little bit. But yeah, though, so luckily, here's the second one. Because luckily to have an insider who can provide me with Sega info, Sonic Dev team has also been floating around the company. I saw roughly 12 minutes and already know a bit of dev info for the game. Working title, of course, not Sonic Frontier 2 or like Kishimoto. Game has been full development since a couple of months. To be announced and released before the TFE. To be finished. To be finished. Poly project. I don't know. Pretty much to be announced on it. AAA development size set as a floating island called. This is new right here. This is all the new stuff right here. Because that stuff is basic though. So right here, this is a new part. Set on a floating island, pretty much similar to Angel Island, which I already saw in the first part, called Sumer. Kind of cool. I like that. Again, it's gonna be one big island though, which I do like that more. So you don't have to go back and do like 2 or 3 islands. Because again, the original Frontiers also, I think. Not leaked, but I think there was supposed to be like a snow island that didn't get like any concept or anything like that. People were like, oh yeah, we're gonna get a new island in Frontiers, for the DLC, but also like people thought like it's gonna be like a snow island that got leaked maybe. Because we have the desert island, Kronos Island being the volcano, and environment area, Kronos Island being the grassy land. Ice would kind of make sense, but also just kind of throwing that out there. Because I would love that too, like an ice island. I love ice aesthetics though, and we get that in this island. Whole like different caverns and areas. I say like how SA2 had it. SA1 had it, like we had like Windy Valley, we had like Angel Island, the Emerald Shrine, then we had like Ice Capas coming back, kind of cool. Like a little environments like that, exploring like a world kind of area like that. That'd be kind of cool to see also. Like seeing like Ice Cap, but you get to like a different level or whatever. Just kind of throwing that out there too. So, yeah. I don't know, just kind of throwing my little own thoughts and everything out there, of course. Actually, I'll be right back really quick. I gotta go do something really quick. Okay, I'm back with my thing. I gotta do something real quick. Cement spare. Okay, sorry about that again. Had a call. As you can imagine, it's related to Angel Island, of course, but it's on the top of another bigger grounded island. Okay, it's kind of cool. The main island floats via digital's version of the Master Emerald. So kind of cool, though. I kind of like that. Because I know in Frontiers, people were conceptualizing like that kind of pink big emerald in that Knuckles area that they kind of teased. I was like, this looks like a fake pink Master Emerald. Maybe they're replicating it. The Angels were replicating it. Get the energy from the Master Emerald, because in the first game, the guys emeralds are from space, and pretty much they did establish like that's what they just to Earth. So yeah, that's kind of a big thing. So yeah, kind of cool. Master Emerald, so pretty much like a digital cyberspace kind of island, I guess, like or mishap. Map is very bigger than any island in Frontiers. Okay, I like that though. Pretty much saying like it's gonna be bigger than ever. Movement is drastically different as well. Camera is closer. Okay, Sonic. But as further as you gain speed, it will be very dramatic. But also very clunky. I want to say kind of like how Spider-Man plays out in those games. If you guys ever played the Miles Morales game, Spider-Man 2, or the first Spider-Man game. Sometimes the camera can get like far away when you're swinging. I can kind of assume it's like that. But I think they'll probably give us like the adjustment kind of option like they did in the first game, where you can get the camera close to Sonic if you want to get him far away, etc., etc. So I'm assuming they could probably do that too. Obviously, very early development in the game is buggy, but seemingly the combat remains unchanged. Okay, you're probably like, you're just using the basic combat from the first game, so that's probably just easier for them to program right now. Also, same exact moves as Frontiers. Again, makes sense. Of course, it's an early game. They have a lot of stuff from the last game they can put there. A good bit of the map is kind of like Green Forest. Okay, I kind of like that though. There's a kingdom area, pretty much I guess going to call back to Kingdom Valley. And also an area that resembles Sky Sanctuary but blue. Okay, Blue Sky Sanctuary. I do kind of like that. That's kind of cool. I'm pretty sure they're using assets from Sonic Southwest by Southwest Gaming Kingdom Valley. Pretty much, I think I want to say like 06 Kingdom Valley, maybe like Shadow and Sonic Generation Kingdom Valley. Maybe they're getting at because that was Sonic Shadow Generations was made maybe around the same time Frontiers was in development though. Origins cross worlds, so we had a lot of stuff blending in together. So you get that early Kingdom Valley, probably maybe was some like early bit of 06, which again they were pretty much asset build, but maybe they got some assets from that just to build upon the island, or we using Sonic Shadow Generations assets. So I gotta assume that. Okay, water I fell over. There's not a single area in the game that looks even halfway finished, of course, except early development though, so that makes sense. There are portals underground that are presumably cyberspace. Okay. So pretty much, I guess they're going to be featured underground. Maybe they're in different areas, like other fishing areas in a different area from the islands. I kind of see that, though. I know for a fact that cyberspace is in the game, and I'm guessing that's it. I guess like some will be underground, some will be like different areas of the island. Maybe it won't be like underwater or something like that. I could probably assume that. Villagers will live in. Villagers will live. Yeah, we'll live in PCs. It's kind of like Minecraft. Okay, so like that, probably trading, getting materials for like upgrades and stuff like that, like getting armor. Maybe costumes would be kind of cool too. So that'd be kind of cool to see that. Where sometimes you had to save the village for reward humans. Okay, I do kind of like that too. Like Black Knight, you pretty much, like I say, you give the villagers, play a little mini game. You give them rings. They give you items and materials, which you can unlock later though. So that's kind of cool. Side loop is returning. Returning feature. The gimmick of the game is the surge ability, which is basically a boost. Basically, the boost. Maybe it's like you do your attacks or whatever. But way faster. It's used to gain crazy momentum. It doesn't last long. It has to be charged rings, like how you had to use ring energy. Side loop, get rings and charge up. Get the super boost, I guess, something like that. With rings, kind of like a regular boost. Okay, yeah, pretty much like the power to boost momentum. I know that the developer of Unleashed is returning for this game as a game developer for some peeps from Color Generations are back in similar roles. So pretty much, I guess it could be like more of a side thing, like having side ideas and everything. So pretty much the blue team from Colors Generations is going to be coming back, seems like it, and Generations, that kind of makes sense as well. Again, that pretty much makes sense. Solid returning, a major big thing. Villagers being like NPCs from Minecraft, that's pretty simple. Needs like say you rescue them, like how Black Knight is, like you rescue them, you play the mini game, get a reward. It's pretty much gonna be how it's gonna be here. So it kind of makes sense. Southwest Gaming, Kingdom Valley. I want to say it's probably assets like probably from 06, or probably they put it from 06, that's probably what they had on hand, or they were working on Sonic Shadow Generations and they had that version just for the background. The different parts of the island, like I said, being kind of like how Angel Island is, like how if Ice Cap, you have like Casino Night, Carnival Night. I guess that's how island's gonna be one big island, but it can have multiple areas, like how SA1 had like the Angel Island piece, but had like Mystic Ruins. You had Ice Cap, pretty much like that. Have like villagers like Ice Cap, like Ice People, something like that. Coco, being, maybe the Coco coming back, there'll be like Chaos, kind of like Iced Coco, Fire Coco, Grass Terrain Coco, etc., etc. Like, I can kind of probably see that. About being, kind of being a little bit Green Forest, like how we have the islands, looking like, greenery and everything. Like Chaos Rhea and Reyno's looking really, really green and very similar to each other. Of course, being buggy and everything, using the combat from the first game, that's kind of typical there. That's kind of nothing really new there. The thing that's Emerald, though, like a digital city, like Sage coming back, though, questioning maybe everything. Maybe Eggman being like an Eggman Land 2, like island, kind of. That'd be kind of cool to see, but it is one big island, though, it seems like it, though. Island being similar to Angel Island was really cool. Samara sounds really cool, I like that. And pretty much it's all basic stuff here, though. So it's actually kind of cool to think about and see, actually, though. Just all the new all the development behind the scenes of what we have so far for this new Sonic game. I'm liking what I'm seeing, though. I remember when I first originally did this, I do on a whole rant and everything about this and that. Like Sonic Tails discovering this, you know, saying like about Emerald Knuckles coming back essentially. But yeah, so far I'm liking what I'm seeing though. And like I said, I really glad I really did this video with a very, you know, a point and everything, like a more clear viewpoint. You know, surge ability, probably like, you know, Phantom Rush, like where for like a minute you get like a power to boost for all your stats, you know, it being somewhat to boost. Again, it could be you know, it could be like surge ability from Spider-Man 2, which they explain, like being like a Kratos kind of God of War rage mode. I can probably see that being like, you know, the new, you know, Phantom Rush kind of like, you know, ability, you know, where you get you power it up and everything. Minecraft being villagers, you know, Minecraft kind of villagers in the game, you know, getting materials just to get your item, you know, for a custom or whatever. As a Kingdom Island being reused, probably assets from Sonic Shadow Generations, like similar to Green Forest, like how we had the island aesthetic from the first game, you know, being like Morenos, and then like Chronos, you know, being very similar to each other. You know, the game is still in early development with the combat and everything. The camera being closer to each game, we could probably readjust it later. So yeah, it's pretty much kind of everything I want to talk about Gorilla today, for the leaks and everything. So yeah, kind of cool to think about though. We got a lot of just new stuff in here, a lot of development, a lot of new notes and everything. You know, overall it's, you know, cool to see everything. So still happy about that at least. You know, that's still a thing. So, you know, kind of cool to see. I'm happy about that too. So, yeah. Let me okay, I'm good. I had to reload that. Okay, that was really fast though. So yeah, I had to make sure. But yeah, again, I'm glad we made this video with the better viewpoint of everything, you know, everything that got leaked out. I got my points out that I wanted to, and I'm happy about this. See all this stuff kind of come true, though. So yeah, see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, great life. Go check again, though. Make sure to stay safe. Wash hands, go past all of you. Going up on our mask, don't toilet paper. Do get back if you can. Go outside to some guys, go be on show. All my friends are good. Go show every frequent your guys are awesome. But you guys think about it, of course, take to hate it again. I like what I'm seeing so far. I'm loving what I'm seeing so far. Really cool, really awesome. Really, really good looks so far, though. Again, half the stuff will probably be true, half of it might not be true. Which we've seen like from the first Frontier games, a lot of that stuff came true, so we can kind of work around and see what's going to happen here. People are probably going to break this down, talk about it, etc., though. So I kind of pretty much made all my points I wanted to make, because in the first, I think I made this video into 2 parts. First part, I talk about this, and the second part, I talk about like what's going to be here, what's going to be there. So I kind of got all my points out in like this one video. I'm really happy about that, though. So yeah, see you guys later, though, again, though. And I'm really satisfied with it, too. See you guys later, though, again, though. Peace out.